feel where I went wrong, and once I went wrong, I had a mental block about it, you know, like my crossover steps, I kept forgetting where I was starting.
Yeah.
But I knew what I was doing, and I thought, oh gosh, it doesn't sort of stop you doing it again.
And then put you off for the next time.
And it put you off the next time.
So every time you heard crossover,
yeah,
you think, oh, instead of,
exactly, yeah.
Because I didn't really have a lot of observations, which is a good thing in some ways. And the purpose of today is not to come down heavy on anyone or anything like that. It is really just to take things to a different level.
Right.
So what happens is, what we have as maybe bad habits or this or that, now just clearly gets pointed out so that you can address them.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
You know, and then after that, after working on those things, fine-tuning them, you become more immaculate in what you're doing. So that is really the purpose of today. And I've given you quite a good report as such, because I couldn't really see many things that you really need to fine tune.
I had been practicing, because it's difficult when you're doing it in front of a mirror, and then you've got to remember not to look down, you've got to feel it more, so I've been trying to practice.
Yeah,
it's not easy.
Well, I'll tell you something that you're very good at, which is really nice. Your posture is very good, your spotting is very good. When you were in the line with everybody else, when you came to your left turn, for example, your head, by 1, 3, 5, 7 was in perfect position. So you've obviously been practicing here. You know, you've obviously been practicing that, because you couldn't fault that at all. So not only do we have to sort of address our bad habits, but we've got to recognise our good habits as well, so that we remember to keep them up. Once the things that you have achieved, you want to keep maintaining them. You don't want to let them slip in the sight of, you know, changing a bad habit at the same time. So the spotting was really good. Your posture, everything about you there on that position was really, really nice. It's to a level of where something's shining, if that makes sense. Now you just want to drag out the rest of the stuff and get them to that point, you know. But stepping back on the crossover, so remember that, step back. Do you know the rhyme? Tap, step back, crossover, together and tap, step back, crossover,
so I'm going to have to get that into my
just pound that into you, because that will never change. And someone else in your class one day is going to have difficulty doing this, and you'll be able to help them through it. You know, basically that's how it works. So always remember, crossover, step back. Crossover, step back. So once you start doing that, put on a piece of music, start putting yourself into mambo, step back on the crossover, back out again, step back into crossover. And then if you really want to test yourself, start going into crossover from things like cucaracha.
Yeah, it was doing it from, I got it wrong, well, I got it wrong most of the time, but from a different place. I was getting it with that first step wrong, and I knew I was doing it, but I couldn't
the
write
one.
it.
It was
the one.
So perhaps when you're doing some practicing, call out the one instead of calling all the numbers, just for a little while, because you want to really force yourself on the one. The one is such a strong beat to step on, because it keeps us in line. Once we start getting confused on ones, obviously you can't sort of catch up. You need to take a little skip or something to catch up once you're in that position. So do that, and then when you start to doubt yourself, drop your eyes a little bit. So try not to. But apart from that, that was all, to be honest. And I gave you very good for general confidence, posture and deportment, rhythm and timing, technique, and excellent potential. Well, have you any questions?
No, it was just as that crossover. I knew I was just digging myself into a hole, and I thought, but no, that was fine. As I was doing it more and more, I was remembering, because my bugbear before the crossover, which was always okay, had been the right turn. But somehow, the right turn's been fine.
So do you see what I'm saying about, don't let them don't under-maintain your good habits when you're focusing on, So don't, I think one way of doing that is don't feel lousy about anything you have to correct. Basically.
Just accept that you've got something to
correct. Correct. Because what happens is if I feel lousy about something that I have to correct, I can often take my eye off of the things that should stop me from not feeling lousy, and then I feel even lousier. So do that when you know you've got something to correct. Don't give yourself time to let it make you feel lousy, because this is where you're learning, this is where you're practicing, this is where you are being assessed. So this is where you straighten everything up. So this is where you make mistakes. So that's fine. There's nothing to, you know, and then keep your eyes up.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Another assessment.
Yeah.